east of Seoul Station, southeast of the Hilton Hotel, and right next to Huamdong is the neighborhood of Huam-dong, where we will explore today. And we're not doing it alone. I'm on my way to Yeji, a girl from the countryside who moved to Huam in 2019. And I believe it was her father who once said, Huam is less developed than your hometown. Now, I'm really curious. So let's check it out and let's find Yeji up there somewhere. This is where we're supposed to meet, and check out this view. It is a view over Huamdong on a beautiful day. Oh, hey! Good morning!
Good morning!
Okay, so guys, I found Yeji, or actually she found me. I said that your father said to you that Huam is less developed than the hometown where you're from. Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Why? Is it really true?
I think it's, to some degree, it is true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels
Now I'm
very old. Yeah.
It feels very old.
Yeah. I suggested to start from here because it says Huamdong.
Huamdong, right.
Topbawi 마을. So 마을 is a village, a neighborhood, and Topbawi is the meaning of Huam. Thick, big rock. It is said that because there was a big round-shaped rock where people used to kind of come to pray for to have baby or.
Oh, I see.
It's not this rock.
What is it? Topbawi means Huam.
Yeah.
Part of Huam is the beautiful Namsan slope, where several noticeable places can be found, including the Goethe Institute since the 1960s.
It used to be hot place.
Hot place. The Goethe Institute.
Yeah, for young people.
Uh-huh.
Because Korea was not international back then, right? It was one of the very popular place where young people can come to learn about the outside world, like new trend and languages and European culture. And,
Mika, do you feel at home?
You see there, you see Goethe Institute, and then you see.
What is this? Wait, 1 second. It's not even a building, it's just...
So our house has a fireplace, which is very rare in Korea.
Uh-huh.
Wood, we actually used to source wood from here. He collected the wood from Namsan.
Yeah.
And then we'll sell.
Probably illegally.
I don't know.
We don't know.
For 10,000 won, this much.
Oh, wow.
So he will deliver it to our house as well.
So this is like the man who does a bit of everything.
Yeah, he
like
did.
selling wood, he's apparently a investor. So this is
Very
usually
popular.
open to the public.
Yeah.
And this is part of a cafe.
Yeah, part of the cafe.
Wow.
It's one of the nicest scenic view. See, even here, just one street, and then you see kind of mix of new and old.
Now that we covered Goethe, the abandoned church, and a phenomenal view, we need to address two libraries, one of which has an interesting story.
We have two libraries. We have the Namsan one.
Namsan Library and Yongsong Library.
Yes, why do we have two libraries?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, you know?
It's not that Huam people like to read, no?
We're not the best reader, and Yongsong Library wasn't library from the beginning. It wasn't built for library. It's very on the hill, so it's very not accessible either.
Look at this. Is this a big building? It looks like an old shabby building with only one floor. But surprisingly, this is the entrance to the 5th floor of the Yongsong Library. And from the other side, it looks like this.
We have to be quiet here.
It hasn't always been a library. It was originally built in the 1960s as the central headquarters of the Democratic Republican Party, the ruling party of the Park Chung-hee era. After he was shot dead, the city government took over the building and converted it into a library. Now, this piece of art is the building's last reminder of its former purpose.
Wow. All right, that was awesome. It's too bad. It would be nice if there's like an information board explaining some of the history, right?
Exactly.
It's peculiar, no information can be found in and around the building. Isn't it the library's primary task to preserve history? Whether it's dark or not?
With this history of the neighborhood, you see so much diverse styles of buildings. It's not just villa.
So a lot of layers of different housing styles since the Japanese colonial times, because not much has changed.
I mean, it changed, but relatively
less than other areas.
Yeji runs a co-living space for global citizens, and the villa where all these people from all over the world live is different from a typical house. Built in the 1980s, it is one of the many unexpected types of houses in Huam. Initially built for a big rich family, Then an American soldier's family moved in when the Yongsong base was still very active. It now has a mixture of global citizens. And it has, uncommonly, a fireplace.
So Yaji's going to show us inside now, because we want to see the fireplace. Have I ever seen a fireplace in Korea in a house? I don't think so. Oh wow!
Probably style of Boston.
Inspired by Boston. Honestly, I have no clue what the Boston style is. But I believe it. Sorry for interrupting. Wow, what a house. I love the stairs.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love the rocking chair. Is this a rocking chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a cool design.
That makes it complete.
Yeah.
I'm so careful. What do you like about Huam?
I like that it looks like a little village. It's a small houses, and I know the little community, so it feels like a little village even more.
Communal is probably a key word in Huam, which we'll find out later.
Igari means grinding, teeth grinding.
Oh yeah, Igari. Here
And
too.
then we caught the person who did it. He said he suffered so much from the teeth grinding. Wanted to warn the people about it.
What?
So random.
And now we go to the market. Huam 시장. 안녕하세요. 아니에요. 아, 닭갈비. 아, 맛있겠다.
한국말 잘하시네.
아니에요. 사장님 여기 오래되나요? 가게요?
이 시장이 지금 50년 전통을 갖고 있잖아요. 오래됐죠. 우리 가게는 지금 5년 됐어요.
후암동 어때요?
검소하고 또 성실하시고 서민분들 자체가 서민시장이에요.
Opened in 1954, Huam Market is, from what I heard, the fourth oldest market in Seoul.
One of the big reasons attracted me to Huamdong was this place, jazz bar, Soundok jazz bar.
Yeah,
In the middle of
Soundok.
the market, you know.
Wow, so it's like a traditional market and suddenly... Oh, 안녕하세요.
They have live sessions like every day,
Every single day.
every single day,
7 days a week.
7 days a week,
How is that even possible?
right?
So he's working his ass off.
Yes, he's so passionate. He's 진심. He wanted to do this for the rest of his life.
사장님,
네.
왜 재즈 너무 좋아하세요?
저는 30년 동안 재즈 음악만 취미로 들었어요. 30년 동안 재즈 음악을 들었다는 의미는 희노애락을 재즈 음악과 같이 했다는 거죠. 그러면 재즈 음악을 버리고 내 인생을 얘기할 수 없어요. 그래서 클럽을 차리고 8년 차 접어들었습니다.
근데 매일매일 퍼포먼스 하면 힘들지 않아요?
자기가 가장 좋아하는 것을 지금 30년 동안 듣다가 클럽을 차려서 7년이니까 37년 동안을 같이 왔잖아요. 그걸 가지고 내가 지금 편안하게 워라벨을 생각한다는 거는 내 손에 롤렉스 금시계를 차달라는 거하고 똑같은 거죠. 워라벨 정도는 포기하고 이 음악을 사랑할 수 있어요.
It's not only the market, but the atmosphere outside of it is exactly what I love. It has that perfect balance of crowdedness and peacefulness. People seem happy, livelier, if you will. That feeling is contagious. Then there's Huam Gimbap. The gimbap here looks huge.
Pork is from Netherlands.
What? This is the first time I see that the pork is from the Netherlands.
Further down the street, I noticed this symbol quite a lot. It's apparently from a local architecture firm that mainly creates innovative shared spaces like kitchens, baking rooms, living rooms, and reading rooms. Now, that's a cool initiative. The spaces not only look neat, but are also in beautiful old buildings.
Shared baking room.
Yeah.
This is a shared bathhouse. Awesome.
This is shared kitchen, so you can rent and then cook and eat together here.
Let's say hi to the co-founder, Lee Jun-hyung.
특히 이 동네는 일제시대 전후, 그러니까 1920년에서 30년 사이에 지어진 건물들도 많이 있고 그 이후에 70년대, 80년대까지 지어진 건물들이 다 있어요. 우리 어떻게 보면은 서울에서 이렇게 다양한 주택들이 남아있는 동네가 많지는 않은데
네.
그 중에 하나라고
그래.
생각해요. 후암동.
그럼 왜 like shared space 왜 그렇게 그런 장소 왜 중요해요?
사실은 서울은 그 청년들이 살기에 저같이 뭐 30대, 20대 청년들이 살기에 집값이 너무 비싸잖아요. 그래서 집에서 다 갖추고 살면 좋은데 그래서 집에 친구도 초대하고 거기서 밥도 해먹고 TV도 보고 목욕도 하고 다 하면 너무 좋지만 집값이 너무 비싸니까.
네.
근데 저는 그들의 집을 막 만들어줄 수 있는 능력은 없고 그러면 집은 작지만 집은 뭐 같이 살아도 필요할 때 친구들 불러서 주방에서 파티하고 여기 와서 영화도 보고 그럴 수 있는 공간들이 많으면 내 집이 조금 크지 않아도
네.
우리 동네가 좋을 수 있잖아요. 그런 동네를 만들고 싶은 건축가의 어떤 꿈 그런 것 때문에 이렇게 하고 있습니다.
이 프로젝트 너무 멋지네요.
감사합니다.
Playground. And why did you want to bring us here?
Because I think it's quite unique in a way that like, you can see different generations here. So you see old people, but also children. It's right next to the elementary school. So this part of Huamdong is the rent is relatively cheap.
Yep.
Like old houses, more older houses, more older generation live here. The part that we just walked down is more modern. So younger generation. In Huamdong, you get to see diverse age groups, and which I really like.
I can see
Kinda
it. I
rare.
can feel it.
It's kind of rare these days in Korea.
Some young kids playing football,
Yeah.
and at the same time, the Josie here is playing mondharmonica, and he is doing exercises behind it.
This little park just felt right. With all the different people and different age groups coexisting nicely, I suddenly imagined living here myself. Not too far from the park is a bakery with a rather shocking mural of the founder himself.
What was his name again?
노홍철.
Pretty epic entrance.
Yeah.
Look at this. And here he is, Jesus. all of them. That's quite funny.
His motto is like, slogan is like, do what you like.
Well, he definitely did what he liked. But it seems like he likes himself.
He likes himself as well.
I like this a lot, for example. This is so beautiful.
Yeah, right? This is so rare to see it.
Wow. Like, this should be on a postcard, you know?
Exactly.
When, greetings from Huam-dong, boom, on the postcard.
Exactly.
Huam is also a lovely place to explore the alleyways, where you will notice many of the houses look different.
And this neighborhood is old, but like not very old, kind of. It became kind of popular district from like Japanese colonization around that time.
Yeah.
During colonial times, many wealthy Japanese settled in the area and basically created a new neighborhood. This area was good for them as it was close to the colonial central bank, the railroad, and the Japanese army camp at Yongsan. Their remarkable homes were built in Western exterior style with Japanese interior elements, and they were called culture houses. Now it's enemy property. If you want to experience one of those houses, this guest house is in one of those original culture houses. Despite the dark history, it created a unique vibe to the neighborhood, and more than 300 of these houses currently remain, which no other neighborhood can top.
The department which was in charge of growing the animals for the rituals, 제사, and during Joseon time, then it was orphanage, Kamakura orphanage, set up and run by Japanese actually. But he was one of the only kind of Japanese pastor who are buried in
Huamdong.
In Huamdong, yes.
Yeah, the foreign cemetery.
Yeah. Saved a lot of children who lost parents, and so he was called Soda Gaichi, who was the one who was running this orphanage. The Soda Gaichi was such a kind of very spirited person, kind of nomad like back then, and then he drunk almost to the death in Taiwan, but was saved by Korean, so he decided to come to Korea. Got deeply engaged and became Christian here, saving lots of the orphans. Then he went to Japan to persuade Japanese people to ask for forgiveness, like kind of, how can I say, do a justice to the history. But then Korean War happened, and his wife was still serving here. And his wife passed away, but we didn't have the diplomatic relationship between Korea and Japan for some time, so he couldn't enter. So they had some movement like asking for special permission for him to enter the country, which worked, and then he came back, welcomed by these people, and then he passed away. I think served until he passed away here, serving like with the surrounded by the orphans.
Wow, what a story.
For our last stop, we go to the historically meaningful 108 stairway.
We made it to the 108 stairs.
These are not ordinary stairs, and it's no surprise they are in Huamdong. Probably a few, if not zero, locals have ever used the stairs for its original purpose. Many who come for the gorgeous photo probably don't realize what lies beneath their feet.
Now it has an elevator because we have a lot of old people. So
I can imagine they have to climb this up and down, up and down.
The 108 steps were constructed in 1943 by colonial Japan to access the Yongsong Shrine, a Shinto shrine that was built for the fallen soldiers from the Sino-Japanese War and the Pacific War. It is picturesque, 100%, but also part of Korea's sad history.
one of my friends who grew up here, he said, share the memory of riding a snow sleigh using these stairs.
Yeah, that's super steep.
Very steep.
Is he still alive?
Yeah,
He's still alive.
Huam was great for a history fanatic like me, who loves strolling through different layers of time, visible in the many different types of housing. The communal feeling made it even more pleasant. Although colonial Japan somehow developed it into a neighborhood 100 years ago, the people today are giving it the Huam charm. Huam goes in my books as the neighborhood with layered flavors on top of the 300 plus culture houses. Welcome to my dong. Houdoe.